Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
The heat is on, and Ozone Action Day with temperatures right around 90 degrees. So is this sticky weather going to be sticking around with us for the weekend? Sean.
Now at 5 o'clock, a senseless murder of an 18-year-old girl in one of the city's hottest spots for violent crime. Tonight, the defenders will share with you DPD's plan to put a stop to it.
We're going to begin, though, with a warning to parents in this high heat that we're seeing and feeling after police say not one but two children fell out of windows in separate incidents in Detroit just hours apart. Topping our news today at 5, one of the two toddlers fell from a 7th-story window and right now is in stable condition. That happened this morning on Bethune Street on the city's east side. Then, around 2 o'clock this afternoon, another young child fell from a 2nd-story window along West Grand Boulevard. Let's get to Grant Herms. He's live this evening following both of these tragic incidents. Grant?
Well, it's some very tragic stories here that have some scary similarities to them. So like you said, around 2 o'clock this afternoon here on West Grand Boulevard, police were called to the 1500 block where a 2-year-old had fallen out of a window after being placed on a bed near that window. The screen gave way. The child fell to the ground. That's several stories down and broke their left arm. They were taken to Children's Hospital, first in serious condition and then later now in stable condition. If we rewind the clock back to just before 9 o'clock this morning, that's where that 2-year-old, it's their birthday today, actually, police said, fell out of that 7-story window, also sitting on a bed. They said the father left the room for just a minute, and when they came back after hearing a short noise, the screen had broken away and they looked out to see some people standing around their toddler at the base of that building. And today, police have a very, very strong warning for parents as we hit these very high heats.
As the weather increases in heat and we opening these windows, that we be mindful of the placement of beds and furnitures with these small children. Really urge you to move those beds more to the center of the room. Ensure that furniture aren't left under the window.
Now that child that fell from the 7th story over on Bethune Street, well, that child, they said, landed on a bed of new mulch and had some scrapes, but ultimately they're going to be okay. They were in serious and now in stable condition at Children's. Hopefully we'll have an update for you a little later tonight. Back to you.
All right, Grant. We'll take a look outside here on this Friday, and it is a really warm day.
And this hot streak isn't going to really let up through the rest of the weekend. So let's get over to Andrew. He is in for Ben this evening, and it is really hot out there, Andrew.
Karen and Devin, you're exactly right. And the high heat remain as we go into both Saturday and Sunday, but there is a chance of some showers and thunderstorms. First, let's focus on this afternoon. Right now, we're still looking at temperatures well into the 80s. Temperatures up a couple of degrees in some instances, maybe down a degree or two in others, but still much hotter than average. 86 over at Metro Airport, while it's 87 now in Mount Clemens. That's 2 degrees higher than when you joined us first at 4. Those 80s stretch all the way into the thumb. Sandusky's at 87 degrees. Now, the air quality alert, also known as an Ozone Action Day, that is still in effect for Detroit and most of southeast Michigan, as you can see here, including Oakland, Macomb counties, also Washtenaw, St. Clair, and Monroe counties. So keep up these good weather tips. Make sure that you carpool when the air quality gets poor, like right now. Make sure you can take a break from mowing the lawn. No use in using any gas-powered equipment. And we're looking at also being more neighborly. Make sure you check on seniors and your neighbors. Make sure everyone's all right with these temperatures that are soaring sky high and with the air pollution that continues to build this afternoon. We'll talk more about that chance of rain for your weekend coming up.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. The state reporting 1,132 new cases of COVID-19 in the past 24 hours, along with 38 new deaths.
Meantime, the total number of vaccines administered here in Michigan has now crossed the 8 million mark, but that's quite a few doses short of our supply. 10.6 million vaccine doses have been distributed to the state.
As of today, 57.1% of all Michigan adults have had at least one dose of the vaccine. Detroit has made a massive and admirable effort to get its residents vaccinated. And yet, according to the state, as of today, just 25% of Detroit residents are fully vaccinated.
A far cry from where public health experts believe we have to be, but the city is also preparing for an influx of people on June 1st. Capacity limits will be lifted or eased, and then July 1st, the governor says mask mandates and gathering limits are going to be lifted for everyone, regardless of vaccine status. And that has some experts highly concerned.
I won't breathe easy until 70% of the population is vaccinated.
Dr. Nigel Paneth is a professor of epidemiology at Michigan State. He is among those experts who believe the state is moving too quickly.
And I think if we relax all our restrictions before a sufficient number of people are vaccinated and before we've really gotten control of the epidemic, I think we might see a fourth wave.
He is particularly concerned about children under the age of 12 who are too young to be vaccinated.
Last year, the vulnerables were the elderly. Now the vulnerables are the children. They're the ones who are unprotected. And everybody who keeps the virus circulating by walking around without a mask and unvaccinated is putting children at risk. It is putting children at risk.
And with many who are unvaccinated also unwilling to wear masks,
that's the perfect storm. The people who are most likely to transmit infection because they're unvaccinated are also the people most likely not to be able to control the transmission of infection.
The risk of a fourth wave may be especially high in areas like the city of Detroit, where vaccine rates continue to lag in spite of the city's efforts.
It is the highest priority right now, getting the highest proportion of the population immunized, because we're only at 25% vaccinated, fully vaccinated in Detroit. So I unfortunately think we're moving a little too fast on the opening up.
Dr. Paneth is not giving up his mask yet either.
When I go to a supermarket, I still wear a mask. You know, fully vaccinated isn't 100% proof against disease. It's 95%. And I don't want to be in a position where I might be asymptomatically carrying the bug and giving it to someone else who's unvaccinated.
Now, everyone will obviously be watching these numbers in the weeks to come. Dr. Paneth says he hopes the governor and health officials will take action quickly if we start to see cases ticking back up. In Southfield today, a protest over specifically who is getting free tickets to go to the prom.
Yes, an anonymous donor volunteered to buy tickets for Southfield High School students who are vaccinated. Non-vaccinated students will still have to pay for their $80 ticket. As our Priya Man shows us, the protesters feel the gesture singles out those who haven't gotten the shot.
A vaccine clinic at Southfield High School for the Arts and Technology was supposed to be another convenient way for kids to get vaccinated, but a controversy over prom tickets brought out protesters across the street.
We're here for the kids.
This group, called Informed Choice Michigan, thinks Southfield High School is making students who don't get vaccinated pay $80 for a prom ticket, while letting students who do get the shot attend prom for free.
It's not right to make somebody get vaccinated in order to go to prom.
Is this whole thing about money? Is that what this world is about? Any more money?
But the Southfield superintendent says that is not the case.
There is misinformation in the community that the district is discriminating against those students who are not electing to become vaccinated. That is misinformation.
Every student who wants to attend prom needs a ticket, but an anonymous philanthropic group offered to cover the cost for students who get the shot.
We are not barring anyone from attending. Everyone will need a ticket. The only difference is someone is paying for the ticket of those students whose families select for them to be vaccinated.
When it comes to prom attendance, the district is not identifying students who did or did not get vaccinated or separating them based on their family's decision. This mom showed up Friday morning to get her 9th grader vaccinated.
I've already got both of my shots, and so I wanted to encourage my son, have him do it.
She says she's relieved her son is one step closer to being protected against COVID-19.
Him going to school, they just got back. I feel much safer now that he's gotten his way.
In Southfield, I'm Priya Man, Local 4.
The man Detroit police say is the suspect in a deadly gas station shooting is arraigned today in a separate case. 22-year-old Timothy McGee is facing retail fraud charges from a crime back in 2019. McGee was taken into custody yesterday. He is accused in the shooting that killed 18-year-old Morgan Dawson. It happened Wednesday outside of a mobile gas station on East Outer Drive near Conant. Charges are pending in that case. And as we await official charges in the death of Morgan Dawkins, Detroit police are working to find new ways to get guns off the streets.
They want to use new technology to do that, specifically in neighborhoods seeing a spike in shootings. Defender Sean Lay joining us live now. Sean, we have, of course, seen the results with Project Greenlight. We've covered that extensively. This is different.
That is correct, Devin and Karen. Good to see you. We are told when interim chief James White takes over that they're going to expand the city's Shot Spotter program. Now, we're going to show you and explain exactly what that is, but police are telling us tonight it is working. The murder of innocent bystander Morgan Dawkins at a gas station this week has touched a nerve in this East Side community on edge, saying violent crime is out of control.
But now you got to watch out because people are coming back with guns.
Morgan's murder also gripping the attention of Detroit's Board of Police Commissioners, asking Detroit police what are they going to do about it. Assistant Chief Todd Bettison says DPD is going to stop the violence and technology is helping them do just that.
The number of weapons that we're constantly taking off the street, at least I know that that weapon will not be used to take a life.
The city's Shot Spotter program, sensors that detect gunshots, get police there faster, and it's helping them get illegal guns off of the streets.
So it is definitely working, and from a community response, we're getting a lot of requests from community members wanting it in their neighborhood.
So an expansion of that program, police say, is working, helping them get to these hot zones faster when the sensor goes off, when there are gunshots, helping them get more illegal guns off the street. And one more thing, guys, the assistant chief says the program is helping them get more search warrants approved so they can clean up and really pay attention to these crime hot zones right now. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4, back to you.
All right, Sean. Well, have you been back to one of your favorite beaches only to find there is less of that beach there?
Ahead at 5, a close look at how shoreline erosion can be devastating to our parks, for fishing, and to some people's homes. So what, if anything, can be done to slow it down?
And the list of weekend construction closures gets a little longer. Just ahead here at 5, where you're going to be dodging the barrels this weekend and how to get around them.
First, how one small glitch caused a huge issue at airports all across the country this morning. That's coming up next.